Just a couple of things that I wanted to quickly point out. If you want more details, you can read my written review that I have on Reddit, and I'll probably be posting it other places. But let's look at a few things here. I have the board upside down right now, just so you can have a better look at this motor mount. As you can see, these motor mounts are really thick and pretty beefy. They're solidly constructed. You can loosen the motor mount by loosening this screw, and there's a screw under here as well. And then you can move this left and right to align the belts. For me, I didn't need to do that because my belts were pretty well aligned over the motor pulley and the wheel pulley, so it's all set. The motors are huge, as you can see. I can't even wrap my hands around them, and I've got pretty big hands. They're 6374 censored motors. Now, even though these motors are so big, there's a huge gap between them, and the reason for that is because of these MBS Matrix 2 trucks. They're super wide. The widest truck out there, I believe, and it's definitely the widest truck I've ever ridden. Here's another look at those MBS trucks. So this is the front one, and as you can see on each side, there's these shock blocks, as they call them. Feels like soft urethane. So you adjust these by using these two screws here. And you can loosen and tighten the trucks using that. You can't really use a standard skate tool. It looks like you need a hex key for these. So when you buy the board, you actually select how much you weigh, and based on that they adjust the shock blocks, because I believe they're different diameters, just like bushings. So I have orange ones in the back and yellow ones in the front, and I'm 140 pounds. Here's a closer look at the top here, and as you can see, they have this hexagonal pattern grip tape only where you would place your feet, so the rest of the board is soft and it won't scratch up your hands, and I like it this way. So the deck has an arch to it, a concave to it, and then it sweeps up at the end so you can really lock your feet in. And as I mentioned in my review, that the deck is pretty flexy. It's probably the best flex in a board that I've experienced. I'd say the top two are the boosted and this board. I've had other boards that flex, but it just doesn't feel as springy as this or the boosted do. Let's quickly go over the remote here. So this is the Nano 2nd generation remote. It's the remote well known in the DIY world. It's nothing special. Here is the on-off button at the bottom, right there. This would focus. And then this is the acceleration and the brake. And then this here, if you have this up, it's eco. Down is regular mode. I've mainly been riding in eco. I've tried out regular. It's about 20 to 30% more power. But for now, I'm okay with eco. This button is supposed to inverse all the functions of the remote, so this would actually be brake and this would actually be acceleration. But I think they have this disabled because you don't want to reverse the functions when you're riding, because my thumb, when I grab it with my right hand, it's right around here and my fingers come through here, so it's always pretty close to this button. So hopefully this button doesn't do anything. I haven't actually tried pressing it. So this is how the remote fits in my hand. I like the little finger loophole here. And yeah, so this is what I was talking about. See this button right here? My fingers are right on it when I'm grabbing it, but like I said, I believe this button is disabled, so it shouldn't really do anything. So let's turn it on. So what you do is you turn the remote power on and you'll see some lights. So you always have to calibrate it. So you go front all the way, back all the way, and then you turn the board on and you hold it next to the board, and then the light will stop blinking and it will be solid green. It usually syncs in a second, but the key is you have to have the remote close to the enclosure, right at this area right here, because this is where the receiver is. So once it's turned on, you're good to go, and you got to treat this remote like a loaded gun, because any tap on this will send the board flying. Okay, so now that the board is on, this is on eco mode. You can get it going. Let's go on regular mode. I've had many e-skates, and this is by far my favorite e-skate. The product itself is pretty much flawless. It's perfect, and it's everything I've ever wanted in an e-skate. More importantly, the guys behind Lacroix, Alex and Pat, they are amazing. They are just on point with their production. They're delivering on time, which is not something you can say for a lot of other companies, and their customer service is amazing. I'm truly impressed by how they're able to keep up with demand, yet at the same time they're so responsive online on multiple forums and multiple places. So thank you to Pat and Alex. You guys did an amazing job, and I'm sure you guys will be very successful. You definitely have the potential to continue to be the top of the market in this e-skate industry. Let's get to some ride footage now.